The Homo Ludens Institute presentation. I will do it through 3 steps. First, I want to tell about the human being path, then the highest point of the path, and the third will be methodology of the reaching the higher point. So let's imagine that the labyrinth is a metaphor as for the human life. So labyrinth shows the difficulties of making the choices and finding the direction in the life. We also can see the life like shown in this picture, especially in the beginning, but maybe for some people till the end of the life looks like here. So the human with closed eyes, not seeing what is ahead of him, is going somewhere. And sometimes it also can be described through moving backward. Like in the beginning of life, sometimes we can describe that human being is so afraid of what will be in his life, so begin to move like backward very slowly, because he is surrounded by unknown. Now there is a very popular game. It's called Detroit Becoming a Human. And this slide I taking from this game. It shows how many choices you can have if you will play this game and if you will be the hero of the game. So all the possibilities, and this schema is what you can choose to do playing this game. And here there will be a small video. I will describe some of what is happening on this video. So all this long story, the possibilities which is each player can have in this game. And number one, what is you see now, it's all what is possible. And number two, which is in the bottom, is what is really happening in the game. So depending of what you really will choose. So one is ideal, and lower level is real. And the same metaphor could be pointed to the real life. So imagine that everyone has the whole possibilities, like whatever can happen. Absolutely everything can happen. But in reality, each of us really choose something special. So far, the reality is something which is concretely happening in each moment of life. So if we'll choose such a picture, we can put it in a map in a way that human being begin his life in the left side and then making different choices. And so far, if he will make simple choices on this schema, he will move somewhere in the bottom, and if he will make some more complex choices, there will be another possibilities. So on the right side of this page, you have, I put 7 possible finals of the life, and the bottom one is a death, and the normal life is usually leads to the death. And there could be different variants of that, which is put it like a joyful life or life towards knowledge. But joyful is better than normal, and life full with cognition also probably better than normal, but them leads to the death anyway. I also put here in the center is life in love, which is usually happen when someone make feed or did. I didn't find the right English word. What would be the right word for podvig in Russian? But this is the special way of life, and life in love may not lead to the death. At least there could be question mark, is it really will lead to the death? As I understand that humanity is trying to question that for the whole history. We have a lot of literature about that. May love overcome death or not? And there are other possibilities shown here as realization as a result of life, wisdom as a result of life, and full liberation as a result of transcendence through the life. So all those possibilities is also could be alternative to the previous one, and could create alternative to the death. It could be speculation, but still we can, at least there is a possibility to overcome death in such a final for the life. So far, I want to present the same idea through another point, which is Joseph Campbell hero journey. So this is a hero journey shown through the circle, and it's the beginning of the journey in the upper point, and then future hero gets the call to adventure, and usually he refuses to call, then gets the supernatural aid, and so this is quite famous story about hero journey, and I would not feel to the details, but the idea is that the human being can take the call and get to the adventure, and this is another way to show that. And here we can also see that Joseph Campbell distinct two words. One is known, which is upper wall here on this scheme, and in the bottom is unknown. So the journeys come from the known to unknown, and they back. And I put it in a little bit differently. So here is journey began from the known, from the ordinary world. And if human will live just a normal life, is just a horizontally can be shown as a horizontal movement. But if someone goes to the search, it's kind of moving high. And the highest point is completeness of whole human capacities. So it's a full realization of who is actually human being. And we can see the same idea in many different places. For example, this is Ken Wilber comparison model of vertical development of different psychologists and philosophers. For example, the first on the left here is a Maslow need scale, then Gebster, then Piaget-Rabinda and Commons and Richards, then spiral dynamic by Graves, and Lavinger and Cook-Greuter. So all of that vertical scale is show the possibility to develop human qualities and become more and more complex and more free, not dependent of simple needs. In our institute, we used to work with a model which we call 7 on 7, and this is a 7 layers of human being development, and each lawyer also have 7 stages. So if someone really want to understand his development, he may found himself on one of the points. And so far we can create a methodology. We have a lot of experience of creating methodology of moving this path in order to help every seeker to go further. And I put the analogy of that with mount climbing, because sometimes people see the scales or matrix and they think, oh, I can do it easily, now I'm fully clear about that. But the real path is could be metaphorically compared with mountain, going up to the mountains, and especially if it's really high mountains, like for example Everest, which is the highest mountain in the world, and the higher state of consciousness, like enlightenment or completeness of human life, could be compared with the highest mountains. So in order to climb the highest, usually people need to do a lot of work. Also, they have kind of help basic camps in each level, in each on a path, in order to help them to survive in this place, and to get used to this height. And in order to move forward and be prepared to move forward. So real methodology of self-exploration, of understanding the deepest parts of human soul, it's something which will include human being as a whole. And it's really important to have not only theoretical ideas about that, but also practical fulfillment and places in each level. Like we have different places in the world, like for example, Russian house could be corresponded to one of basis camp if you really go through your path on development. And actually, this is my short presentation. I'm PhD in transpersonal psychology, game master, Russian house founder. Here is some links for Institute, and from the 1st of October, there will be games. I forget this English word, but it's something like a lot of different games which you can participate from 1st of October if you will register in Eventbrite. And finally, if you will show the good results, you will become part of our group and part of, you can study in Homo Ludens Institute. So that's probably all. I'm open to answer the questions and the feedback.